Classes?
Yeah.
Okay. I just met her for the first time recently because we've mobilized for like women mobilizing up here after the election. So.
Cool. Stand by.
Oh, I thought we already were. And she's part of that too. So I just met her recently. She's pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Elisa Parker. We're broadcasting here from the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. 15 years we've been celebrating this festival, hosted by Circle, and it's the largest environmental film festival in the United States, which is pretty phenomenal considering that we are in little downtown Nevada City and also now in Grass Valley. Literally, the towns are right next to each other, so it's super exciting. And energy is something that is a constant in our life. And I don't think we always think about, like, where are the sources? Where does that come from? And what does that look like when we talk about climate change and just our future and sustainability in general? I'm excited to have Max DeArmon and Missy Lahren here with us. They are part of the film, The Future of Energy. Speaking of the future of energy, hi guys, it's great to have you here with us.
Thank you.
So this is your first time at the Wild and Scenic Film Fest.
It is.
Okay. We're going to have you guys work the mic. Yeah. And what's been a highlight so far for you guys just in being here in 24 hours?
I think the biggest highlight for me was finding out that Grass Valley was one of the first adopters of solar energy in the United States.
That even surprised me when you shared that last night at the media reception. That's amazing. Well, tell us about your film and how that ties into local communities who are doing sustainable energy.
Well, thank you for having us. Our film is called The Future of Energy, Lateral Power to the People. And the subtitle really focuses on local communities and what they're doing to transform their energy systems to renewable energy. And so, what we did was we traveled across the United States to different leaders in renewable energy. One was in Greensburg, Kansas, and the other one was in Lancaster, California. And Greensburg is, I think, 100% wind energy, and Lancaster is about 95% solar and on their way to 100%.
How many towns now, since creating this film and doing the research, have you found that are using at least a decent amount of sustainable energy, like 25% or more, let's say?
Yeah, I don't have an exact number, but there's a lot of towns and cities. I recently just heard the other day that Las Vegas is actually now 100% renewable energy, and towns like Burlington, Vermont are 100% renewable energy. So it's happening on a local level. I think Palo Alto also claims carbon-free city.
What can we do, Alex and Missy, in our own communities to help propel this and to help move our communities where, basically where we're spending all of our time? What can we do about this to help create that? Like, it is amazing that Las Vegas is now using 100% renewable energy. It's amazing.
Well, there's a movement called Community Choice, and this is a movement that's spread all over California, and it's really amazing because the state legislature can vote to allow communities to have a choice about what type of energy they buy. And so even here in Grass Valley, PG&E allows you to have choose renewable energy on your utility bill. And Marin was actually the first place in the whole United States to bring community choice, and that happened in 2010. And the community choice movement is spreading all over the United States, and that's really exciting. But what needs to happen is residents need to get together and put pressure on the utility to bring that in, and then work also on the state level.
Okay. That's good to know. So what would be one thing then, as far as putting that pressure? You said it's called community choice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what does that look like then in writing to like PG&E, for example?
Well, so what happens is each town in the state of California can push their local government for community choice.
Okay.
And I think there's about 32 towns right now in California that now have community choice. And so that's really exciting because it can happen in every single town in the state. And it's just a movement that's gathering speed.
What was the one town that surprised you that was using a lot of natural energy?
Well, the funny thing is both Greensburg and Lancaster are Republican towns, Republican mayors. So that surprised us greatly that this is not really a partisan issue. When you look at the political debate, it seems like it's a partisan issue, but on a local level, it seems not to be. We wanted to go to San Antonio, Texas, and film because they're pushing for what Jeremy Riffin's calling the third industrial revolution. So we thought that was an interesting story, but we just didn't have the time to go.
Now you're going to have to do a part 2 of the future of energy. We're here at Wild and Scenic. What's the wildest thing that happened to you guys in creating this film?
Well, we did our world premiere in Melbourne, Australia, and none of us had been to Australia before. So that was a pretty wild time.
How about for you, Missy?
I think the wildest thing was going to Greensburg, Kansas, and meeting the mayor. He is such a visionary, and we ended up going back to his house and playing in his basement and bowling and drinking moonshine and yeah, homemade moonshine. And his wife played guitar around the fire, and it was just interesting and fun for us because, well, you can see what a character he is in the film and what a leader. But
one of the
Left
funny
her speechless.
one of
basically.
the funny things is we're liberal Californians,
That's
so
what
we show up there and everything was fine until Al Gore and Inconvenient Truth came up, and then there was some silence.
Then it got a little tense.
Yeah.
All right, but part of that, though, and what we're seeing right now as a result of our current elections is that we do have to get to the heart of that and have those heart-to-heart connections with people to see the human in all of us and really get beyond that. Hopefully we can, right?
Absolutely. One of the major blocks to this is identity politics. And we actually worked with a climate psychologist on a short film looking at the climate, what they call the climate paradox. And they say essentially Republicans are not against renewable energy. They're not against this notion about climate change. What they're against is that climate change has been positioned as a liberal agenda. And so they see themselves as opposite that agenda, so therefore they have to be against it.
Interesting. So the theme this year for Wild and Scenic is At the Edge. I know I asked you last night, but what is a moment when you had to literally get on that edge and take that leap of faith in order to make whatever possible happen?
Well, we definitely had to get on that edge to make this film. We didn't have any funding. We didn't have any pre-prep. Usually in film you do a lot of pre-production, and we didn't do any of that. We just had the inspiration. We jumped right into an IndieGoGo campaign, and then we started filming. And so for me, I literally just jumped right off the edge, and a lot of us were in financial trouble by the end of the film, but it was all worth it.
Are you doing okay now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Back
doing
to
all right?
life.
Do you
Yes.
need any extra funding?
Yes, we need help. No.
There's your chance right there, right? Where do people go to get more information about the film and to help provide more funding for you?
Yeah, so we just got a distribution deal with the Video Project, and they're looking at K through 12 and college distribution mostly. And you can go to thefutureofenergy.org, and all the information is there.
Okay, on the edge, at the edge, Missy.
I would say, well, part of the reason why we made the film is to really respond to the call to action that one of our teachers brought to us. A woman named Joanna Macy, who's in the film, and she writes a lot about an idea called the Great Turning, which is moving from an industrial growth society to a life-sustaining society. And I think being new to philosophy students ourselves, and bringing those concepts that are so intellectual really out into the world and trying to articulate them in a way that inspires people was a challenge for us. And partly for me was showing the finished product to our professors and saying, did we deliver on the philosophy that you want to bring out into the world?
Yeah, and what was the feedback?
Well, it was really exciting. Our professors donated to our IndieGoGo campaign and
That's great.
Screened it at school, and I think that was probably a huge compliment.
Good for you guys. And when is the film screening?
It's at 1:30 today and on Sunday.
Okay. Thanks so much for stopping by at the Wild and Scenic Film Fest Media Lounge. You've got to come down if you've never been here. It's like, I feel like it's like the tribe shows up of everyday action heroes and the change makers, thought leaders who are really making the real difference in our world. So thanks for all the work that you're doing. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you so
having us.
much.
Yeah, thanks guys. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
That was great. Thanks
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a picture over there?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do a photo.
We were going to ask you last night, but you
You were? Oh my God, it was crazy. That's because it was crazy and we were just like...
Doing what you do.